thank goodness that we've got the journalists that we do, because I do want to run through this list. This is a list that James Myrtle put together for The Athletic. 15 players who might have played their last game.
Oh, wow. That was fun. Man, the list of players who, this is just a quick aside, I'm not trying to hijack it, but there's a list of players.
13 years ago, I asked Mrs. Dangle, and then I was like, you can't remember?
What? There's a list of players coming out of the full season lockout, 04-05, and it's star-studded. Yeah. The list of players who just never got their final season.
Yeah, so Brian Leach with the Leafs. Makes me sad.
No, but he ended up playing again. He was his final season with the Leafs, went on to the Bruins, but I think that was it for Scott Stevens.
And a few other people too. I remember
Al McInnes, I think. It was
Ron Francis.
Sorry.
Ryan Miller is the first one that comes up.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Could be.
James actually reached out to him and he said, it's too soon for me to tell. I can't process what's happening. I think I need to get clear. I think I need to get clear of the real world issues that surround us, then sit with my wife and have a real discussion of where we're at. People, we never think about these things and we should more, but there are, especially when you get to Ryan Miller's age, toddlers, kids, wives, many, many, many things to consider when you get back into it. Henrik Lundqvist, New York Rangers.
Oh my God. No way.
James said this. At first, it felt like Lundqvist didn't fit on this list. He's a legend with the Rangers, the only team he's ever played for, and he's got another year left on his contract. But you talk to people around the franchise a little, and it's clear the three-goalie situation has not been a lot of fun. It certainly sounds like the Rangers may buy out Lundqvist's final year, opening the door for him to either sign somewhere else or hang it up.
Wow.
Crazy.
I just don't – I don't think Lundqvist is that guy. I don't think he wants to go to another team.
No, I think he'd retire too. I really do. It would be such a shame if he didn't win a cup, though. Justin Williams, Carolina Hurricanes, who, honestly, we almost didn't see him again anyway. And it kind of stinks that he waited till January to come back. He got back, and then season's gone.
What are you going to do? Yeah, what do you do?
Mikko Koivu. It's his last year of his deal. And James starts off his little blurb with, yeah, this is probably goodbye.
Damn.
And interestingly, the league would be Koivu-less for the first time since 94-95. Because his older brother.
This is Saku.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun
tidbit. Crazy. Cool stat, right? 25 years of the Koivus.
Wow.
Jay Bouwmeester, I think, was a little bit more obvious, given the
yeah. I don't think that's a COVID thing.
Yeah. James said if he doesn't play again, he was 18 at his first NHL training camp. And he, rarely suffered. He's 36, but, with a heart condition, you got to be so careful. It's just different. Your life totally changes. But 17 years in the league without really major injuries is pretty amazing. Brent Seabrook in Chicago. Mm-hmm. Now, what's interesting about this is James says, I'll say this much. He doesn't think it's the end.
Interesting.
Jerome McGinley all over again.
Well,
have retirement forced upon him.
Well, except Seabrook got the 3 cups, right, Jesse?
Rome's got 0.
Right? You're both evil. You're both evil bastards. You know that? All right?
Very true. Very true. David Backes.
Can I maybe throw out an unpopular opinion?
Please.
Watching David Backes play this season made me uncomfortable.
There's somebody who probably should have been retired at the end of last season.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about because he sucks, although he's clearly lost a step. He's a depth player in this league, probably 3rd, 4th line, makes $6 million. That's the problem. The problem with David Backes is the amount of brain trauma this guy has suffered over his career, and he took in the last Leafs-Ducks game, he took a huge hit. I think it was from Clifford. And it's one of those ones where, I don't know if he missed any games afterward. I don't know if it was diagnosed as a concussion.
Mm-hmm.
But that motherboard has taken a lot of blows, dude. Mm-hmm. Watching David Backes play, watching him absorb a hit makes me uncomfortable now.
I just remember in the 18-19 season when the Bruins had to make the decision to healthy scratch him. I was just this is it's about time here. Like
Yeah.
the people are telling you things, and they're putting you on the sidelines because it sounds like you want to be on the ice, but you're not understanding that you shouldn't be. And there's a notice here that you should probably get off the ice. And the fact that he's still playing is probably a problem.
You can't mess with your brain, man. The UFC fighter Junior Dos Santos, please stop giving that guy fights. Like, holy smokes, the amount of – you can only get knocked out so many times. Anyway.
Craig Anderson in Ottawa.
Yeah, that's probably time, eh?
Here's interesting.
Oh, Craig Anderson's like 40, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Well, in his first
forever.
he didn't make it. He was in the minors till he was 26, back up till he was 28. Didn't start 100 NHL games in his first 8 years of pro hockey.
Wow.
And then
it's like Tim Thomas.
Yeah, and then from 07 to 08 to 16-17, he had a .919 save percentage over that time.
Awesome.
12th heaviest workload in the league.
Underrated goalie, man. Underrated goalie over his career. Like, he wasn't always fantastic, but he had a few masterpiece performances. There was that series between the Avalanche and the Sharks several years ago, not this past year, but it was several years ago, and Anderson was the starter for the Avalanche, and he had something like a 51 save gem.
And then didn't they lose the next 4 games?
Yeah,
I think they might have, but
but that gem was great.
Yeah,
it was. Well, it showed that. I mean, they were clearly outmatched, right? Like he had this ability to pull a rabbit out of his hat.
Dan Hamhuis, Nashville.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot he was playing.
I know, me too. Because I forgot that he was drafted by Nashville and then went to Vancouver, and now is back in Nashville. 37, obviously playing third pairing stuff, but it'd be kind of sad to see him go, but it also seems like it might be time.
How many of these guys, sorry to interrupt your list, but how many of the guys on the list right now are sitting at home being like, retirement's not so bad? Now that they've been forced into this, not to joke on Jerome McGinley, now that they've literally been forced into sitting at home, they're like, I guess I'll just take the more time with my kids and my wife, you know?
See, based on what I saw with Darcy Tucker, I think it would be agony.
Oh, yeah?
Adam makes a very good point there. And also, if this were a lockout, I think more guys would probably call it a career. This is not fun. They're stuck inside. They can't go anywhere. They can't basically enjoy a lot of the things that rich retired people enjoy, going on, trips all over the place. You're stuck in your house. This sucks. They're probably dying to get back on the ice right now, even recreationally. So I feel like fewer players per capita or whatever are going to retire coming out of this than they would a lockout, because this sucks. This is boring. You know what I mean? It
does. And it's to have it go like this kind of sucks. It just does. Ron Hainsey's another guy, number 10 on the list. And I didn't realize this, but he was a 13th overall pick, and he looked like a bad pick and ended up with the expansion Columbus Blue Jackets, from what I understand.
He was always he was one of those guys who, remember how I said Jack John was the first guy who I remember analytics saying was bad?
Mm-hmm.
Ron Hainsey is one of the first guys I remember analytics saying was good.
Yes. Yeah. He was like a big analytics darling.
He wasn't always in his mid to late 30s, right? Like,
no,
like when he was younger, he was a really good player.
But like,
it wasn't always molasses.
Yeah.
Right.